What up? It is the ManFUzed Podcast. Ben H.
What's up, guys?
K. Lee here. Your host, my co-host, the dynamic duo, the beautiful pair.
Master of disaster.
So I have to ask of our audience to forgive us because we have been, and part of this mainly has been a little bit more on me lately. Our episodes since the beginning of the year have been a little choppier than normal. That we had to decrease the outgoing output by a little bit. I was trying to release, snippets of shorter episodes daily, so to provide you with, stuff throughout the week.
Yes.
It's kind of been dumbed down and cut back to about one episode a week, and we've even missed a few weeks. So for that, I am sorry. Ben is busy.
Yes.
I am insanely busy. We're not going to stop, but I've had to just pull back a little bit because I don't want to put out content that's forced. And if I'm not in it because, I don't want to produce just to produce, not saying that we don't have any content to talk about. It's just, it's been a little bit more trying as of late.
Yeah, most of the time, when people are doing podcasts, they aren't doing a normal job.
So they might be living in mommy's basement.
Yeah.
Now, Ben, do you know, with the release of our short 15-minute episode last week, that was our 100th episode. This is technically
Centurion
101.
Dang.
Now, if you think about that,
That's awesome.
Pat on our backs.
Yes.
We have gone
100.
We have
episodes.
broken the 100-mile mark.
And really, that's a conservative number because you've broken certain episodes up into 4 different episodes.
Oh, no. From that angle, we're over 200
right.
something. But officially, if you put all the parts together, we are at 100 episodes.
That's amazing.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations to our audience for sticking with us.
ManFUzed
because Ben is a Andrew Tate sympathizer.
That's right.
And follow.
Wannabe.
Yeah, wannabe. And are chauvinistic and women hating,
all of the horrible slights.
So, this is our 101 episode. So I am super happy about that. And it's a milestone for sure. Most do not make it past 10.
No.
And the amount of work that, if we combine all the hours we've spent in this dungeon.
The hours, the money, the commitment of brain cells.
Yes. I've got some anger, Ben. I'm normally not an angry person. Yeah. I have a level of frustration. Well, first off,
anger is just a part of life, but
it
really is more revealing than it is solution.
What is revealing?
I don't know. Tell me about your anger.
Well, first off,
reveal something.
We will talk about my car.
We'll talk about, the car.
So if I didn't recount in previous episodes, I bought a 2006 classic Pontiac GTO in mint condition.
Yeah.
It had never been in the rain. It had 22,000 miles on it. Pristine.
Hot rod.
It is a badass car. I mean, it's not even the most impressive thing to look at, but it is
like a freaking NASCAR.
It's got a Corvette engine in it, and with my car, which has over 25,000 in upgrades to the engine and to the suspension, it'll roast. I mean, it'll roast any vet
pretty
on the road.
Anything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about anything, but it'll roast a fucking lot of shit.
Stuff.
And it was in mint condition, and about 2 months after I had it, I was driving, a beautiful day. I was on my way to my daughter's soccer game. I was behind a pickup truck. In the back of a pickup truck was a pallet of some sort. The pallet, everything on the pallet was tied down, except for this big, thick piece of cardboard. It's cardboard, but it's almost wood at that point, is what I believe they separate the pallets when they stack them on top of each other.
Right.
So it's not sitting on the product.
Yeah.
That was not secured. And so a big gust of air, boom, this thing comes flying off, and there was nothing I could do. It just smashes my hood.
Dang.
I pull up to the driver, cussing and screaming. He was a nice guy. Technically, even it was his fault, but it wasn't his fault. The guy who loaded didn't, take that shit off. Anyway, he should have double-checked. They claimed responsibility, so it was cool. But I'm dealing with Allstate, the suck of insurance.
Right.
Allstate, you suck the devil's
claims go to
dick.
die.
Where anything goes to die. The incompetence.
Goes to Allstate
let me say the incompetence of the adjusters. And maybe that's one of their games. But these people, if this is their full-time job, they are the worst example of a great employee I've ever experienced. This has to be a fourth job, like Taco Bell's fourth meal.
Right.
This is like their fourth hustle or something like that.
Yeah, just promoting obesity.
So just, what, the fourth meal? Or just Allstate?
Allstate.
Yeah.
They're giving jobs to obese people who are just doing
a
horrible job because they're eating 4 meals at Taco Bell.
Well, I don't know.
Destroying their health.
I don't know that's it. We can't knock obese people.
What you were saying.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, like a fourth meal.
Yeah.
There's no way that this is their full-time dedicated job. This has to be like a fourth job. Nothing. This person could be fucking Napoleon Dynamite skinny. I have no fucking idea. So this is what happens. It took months to get them to claim responsibility, and then I went the route of, you need to replace my hood. You need to replace the damage to my hood I found an aftermarket hood.
Yeah.
You cannot get parts for my car.
Right.
They can't get a Pontiac hood.
Yeah.
Not that's not used off of like
a junkyard car.
Right. Which is not saying if you could find one in perfect condition, great, but I'm not going looking through for the pick apart.
They want you to go look for
No.
Oh.
So it got to this thing where the adjuster wasn't calling me back. She assigned it to some special adjuster. And finally, 2 months later, when I get on the phone with him, he's looking at the damage and he goes, yeah, we're not going to replace your hood. He's like, from what I can see right here in the pictures, your hood is fixable. So we're not going to replace it at this time. Now, if they get in there and they discover that it's not safe or there's a, compromise to its safety, like, its ability to, then we will replace it. He was like, and he tried to disarm me. He was like, man, and I believed him, but he was like, I'll level with you. I'm into old classic cars too, and I'd be super pissed off if I was you as well.
Right.
But he was like, from a resale standpoint, your best bet is to take it to one of our preferred shops because whatever they do to fix it is guaranteed for life. Yeah. So therefore, if 2 years from now, the paint, because they weren't repainting the whole hood, they were just going to blend it. But if anything is fucking jacked up, you could bring it back and we'll honor it.
Right.
And at that point, I'm like, I just don't fucking care anymore. Yeah. Just fix my shit.
They've exhausted you.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah. It's like when you go to the car dealership and they leave you in the little room for 4 hours.
Oh, yeah. When they go third party it to the guy, the underwriter. Well, we come back like good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fine. I know Gerber Collision up the street, who I've used before through my insurance, is one of their preferred people.
Right.
No problem with them. They do an okay job.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fine, I take it there. Now I'm taking it there only because the full life guarantee, these items. So I get a rental car. Oh, I have to wait a month to even get it in there, which now brings us to February 15th.
Yeah.
I bring my car in. They look at it. Now, the dent on my hood was the major eyesore.
Right.
But my hood has 2 noses.
Yeah.
And the mesh plastic grill that is in one of the noses was broken.
Yes.
Now, in the photos I submitted, I clearly, because it was really bright, you couldn't really tell, it was documented that the nose grill was broken and it needs to be replaced.
Right.
You would think these assholes, before even doing anything, would go, well, I wonder if I can source that. So I get a call a week ago from the shop saying, well, your car's done. 4 days later, I'm like, great, it looks great. Except we can't find the replacement part for that car. They don't make it anymore. Well, duh. No shit. So I'm like, well, then it's not completed because you're not, like, they were wanting to turn it back over to me as is.
Right.
I'm like, no. I brought it here for the car to be made back whole.
Right.
Well, we can't find the part. So I call Allstate, spend another hour on the phone. The bitch adjuster that I have isn't answering, of course, gives a fuck less. I go through the claims trying to get to somebody else. I hear nothing. And then I get a call from the shop like a week later saying that he just spoke to another special adjuster.
Yeah.
Seeing what was up with the car. And the guy goes, well, I looked online or I looked into our database, and had that part been available, it would have cost $450.
Right.
But it's not available.
Right.
So we're just going to give him $450.
Right.
And we'll just write this thing off.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, no, the fuck you're not. So now you're going to give me $450? Right. So I have to pick up my car, get another rental car probably, and drive around finding somebody to fix it when...
The nose grill?
Yeah.
How about but does the hood look good?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
But I think it does.
Should I get him to send a picture?
I mean, it's down the street, but I don't want to see it until it's fixed. The whole thing.
I would at least look at that so that while they still got it, if it doesn't look good, I mean, it might be a different shade of silver. Might still have like a little dent when you look at it in the light.
Oh, I'm going to eye it the fuck down. Don't get me wrong. But I have no interest. I'm not taking it back. Yeah. You're not giving me money for then me to go spin my wheels and find now another place. Right. I've already got so much fucking time into this. Like, I've had to call. I probably got 4 hours on the phone just dealing with the claims people.
Right.
Fuck you. Now I've got to go drive around going, oh, can you fix this? And then what, get another rental car? I mean, the car isn't completed. No, fuck no. And I talked to the guy at the shop who one of the techs goes, I'm not supposed to repeat this out loud.
Yeah.
Might get struck by lightning. He said, because he's got a couple of classic cars, he knows how to fix it.
He does.
Gerber and Allstate.
A nose grill?
But no, you don't need it. Like, the whole nose grill is fine. It's just the mesh.
That's what I mean.
So you could take out the piece that they're trying to replace, the whole thing.
Right.
Like the whole piece.
Got it.
When really, you pop out the fucking broken mesh and you get in there and you glue another fucking piece of mesh.
Right.
Done.
Seems easy enough.
He's like, I know how to do it. I know how I would do it. But they won't let me. What do you mean they won't let you? Well, we can't guarantee it. Well, then don't guarantee that fucking piece of plastic.
Right.
I'll sign off on it.
Right.
You don't have to guarantee it. Just make it whole.
Hey, I got an idea. Ask him if he'd do it for $100.
Oh, he won't do it at all.
No, I'm just saying, you could take the $450, pay him $100, glue the mesh in, you're up $350, done.
Well, I'd have...
The claim is paid.
Well, I mean, I could.
Outside of the claim. Hey, listen, you're the guy that knows how to do it. I'm going to go ahead with this $450 thing. When it come back to you, give you $100. Will you grill the fucking piece of mesh in there and let me get on my way? We won't even have any paperwork. It'll never be known. It'll be a cash deal.
But, right. Well, I've already thought about that.
Off the books.
But at work, I'd have to go and have a face-to-face conversation. He's not going to say yes to that over the phone. But he's like, they won't let me do it. Because we can't guarantee it. I'm like, listen, this isn't you, because apparently you have your marching orders because you're an all-state preferred. Right. You're not going to, so you're going to follow whatever guidelines. But I'm like, finally, when I got an adjuster on the phone, I'm like, either replace my fucking hood, which is going to cost you another $3,500 on top of the work, or fix my fucking grill. Yeah. Now, there are two ways you can go about fixing it. You can order an aftermarket part.
Right.
That is the exact same thing, and they even make some cool carbon fiber ones. I might even look at that.
Yeah.
Or replace the fucking hood, or glue the mesh in there. It is a fucking huge fucking nightmare. Like, I'm just like, fuck you. I went here because you said it could be fixed. It's now you're telling me that you can't fix it.
Well, that sounds like the major thing to me is something that's fixable. They just can't guarantee it. So to me, it's like the big issue was the dent in the actual metal hood. If they have properly repaired that, then you're 99% there. Getting a little piece of mesh glued into the nose hole is, a minor issue as it compares to having a big dent in your car.
Totally.
You know.
But it's not.
So there is some silver lining.
Well, yeah, I can look at it. I know I'm standing my ground, but it's the principle. You told me to go here because this is where it could get fixed. Knowing ahead of time, you ain't going to find any fucking parts. So therefore, you opted to tell me you weren't going to replace the hood. But now you're telling me you can only partially fix my car.
Well, I mean, look, I don't know if it was like premeditated for them to, if they're like, hey, you know what? We're going to tell them we can do it, but we can't really do it.
Well, but no, it's not premeditated. Nobody decided, like, okay, before we go down this road, they don't make parts for this car. Like the claims department and the adjusters look into those sort of things because they have a database. They just go, okay, well, typically that's how they give me an estimate on what they think it's going to cost to replace.
It's a hard world out there in the insurance game.
Man, fuck them. Fuck them and fuck them.
Auto repair game. If I was you, I'd be like, look, dog, mesh that thing in there for me. Give me $100 on the side. Don't even worry about it. Give me my $450. Give me my car. Let me get out of the Dodge Charger, get back in my car, glue the piece of mesh in the nose, and roll out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately, your car's sitting there because a little piece of mesh can't be glued in. Somebody will glue the mesh in for $100. Particularly, I think that guy would do it.
Well, I talked to my insurance agent because I was telling him what was going on. He's like, you could just basically, they're offering you $400 or $500. We'll give them more cost. Say, fine. All right. Well, I found an aftermarket. It's going to need to be painted. And then it's going to need to be brought over to the shop that I found that's not close to here. So it's going to be $1,000.
Yeah.
And then we're done.
Yeah, good.
Maybe.
If you want to keep playing the game. Again, this is something that you're suffering from.
I'm suffering so bad.
This is something that's taking up space in your life. It's taking up space in your mind. It's taking up space in your time with your family. This is preventing you from doing a lot of things, and you're allowing it to.
I cannot not allow it to.
Well, maybe that's the way it seems, but
you're right. I could put my wiener in between my legs and go, you win, and then go pick up my car.
Well, I don't think it's a win-lose situation. To me,
I've already lost.
Getting the car back is a win. Getting $450 is a win. Gluing a piece of mesh up under there is a win. It sounds like you've got a win laid out before you, but you want more. Or it's not on your terms.
But it's not that I want more. I just want it whole. Because that's why I brought it there.
Well,
on your recommendation.
Sometimes whole is partially whole with a check.
Whole is partially. So, all right.
They are offering you a check. At least they're not saying, "Hey, sorry, we can't do it. Come get your shit." Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're saying, "Hey, sorry, we can't do it," and in exchange for that, we're giving you a check.
All right, now that's one beef. Let's move on to it.
Does that make you feel better?
No, not at all. I fucking hate it all. I hate everybody. So, a couple of things. It seems like the last few days there have been a lot of business hiccups, so to speak. So, without going into too much detail, there was a partnership that was, I thought, on the table between Foo Media, Follow Up Media,
right,
and another, entity. Right. There was a verbal agreement. The agreement was finalized verbally. I was waiting on my contract.
Yeah.
And then a hire was made.
Yeah.
And now that has come in between the...
Dissipated.
I don't know where it stands exactly. Nonetheless, I'm not as bummed about that.
Yeah.
In the long run, because really, I kind of felt like I was undervaluing it, and I was more or less giving it away. I wasn't giving it away, but I don't think I was getting what I should have gotten. Because the partnership made sense. Both companies could have filled in a bunch of gaps for, to where I wouldn't have to go and build this side of it because it's kind of built over here.
Right.
And so it made absolute sense.
Strategic partnership.
Correct.
A symbiotic relationship.
Synergistic love fest.
Synergism.
Yeah, syner.
You're going to be a synergasm.
It's going to be synergasm. Well, that has been a dud.
Yeah.
I don't know where exactly it falls.
It was a dry hump at best.
It was, it was front grinding. It was a front grinding.
It was a 2-minute front grind.
But with a thick fabric in between each. 2 pieces of thick fabric.
With a sleeping bag in between.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's that.
Neither party left their sleeping bag.
Yeah, right. Or it was all soaked inside of the sleeping bag. So I don't know where exactly that is. Like, it's not going to be the same. There still could be an affiliation, maybe a strategic partner. I don't really know. I don't know. It's not going to be a big percentage chunk like I thought it was, which is fine. Anyway, and I've been building a sales team. And dude, the sales team I've been building are a bunch of fucking duds. Nice people. I spent weeks teaching these people, getting on the phone with them every day. Educating them on what we're doing, what we're going after.
Right.
They're listening to me make calls.
Right.
I'm giving them scripts. Like I'm repeating it. It's repetitive because that's how you learn.
Yes.
You get it into your speech and then it comes out your mouth.
Yes.
Like you did it every day. Not a hard fucking thing.
Script.
It's, hey, how are you? Is this a good time? Oh, great. Because you don't want to start launching into a sales fucking pitch. The worst is when you start talking and they're like, listen, I'm in a meeting right now. Yeah. Like they start talking to you, but then you just go on.
Right.
And then they're like, you realize it's not a very good time.
Exactly.
Which they should have told you that from the beginning. That would be my argument. But that's why I always ask, am I catching you at a bad time?
Right.
It's just the polite thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, if you do this for a week, give it a week. Sit down and hammer it out. I give you the list. Within 3 weeks, they quit. I don't think I'm going to go down this sales route.
Right.
And so I got 2 of those in the last 24 hours.
Right.
I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. 2 of them are both talented people whom I like. It just really pisses me off. Like, I've known for almost a few weeks, and it's probably been going on for more than that. It's probably been going on for a month and a half.
Right.
But I could tell in the last few weeks, just because I'm always getting hit with excuses as to why they haven't or not doing so. So I'm like, they're done. But then they finally decided to tell me
that they're done.
And I'm like, I pretty much have known. But thank you for, enlightening me on such an obvious fucking thing.
It's difficult, man. I mean, entrepreneurship is very hard. Hiring salespeople is one of the hardest things, especially if you're looking for salespeople without a base. Licensed sales at least has the filter of the license, over
they've made an
investment.
They've made an investment and have gotten that accreditation.
They don't necessarily realize that they're getting into a sales business in most cases, like stockbrokers or, real estate or insurance. You don't really realize, I think, when you're getting licensed that that's the core of the business. At least a lot of people.
That's the money maker.
Well, I know, but a lot of people, I think, figure that they're going to
put a sign out.
They're going to get enough business from the people that they know, that kind of thing. But my point is that...
That's funny.
My point is that in an arena where it's a service-based arena, right? Like, let's say, podcast production or even like something else that's service-based. What is another service-based sales industry? I mean, other than insurance, real estate, cars. Cars is non-licensed, but you're signing up for a sales job. And they have the inventory on the site. It's very difficult to find salespeople without paying a base. As a matter of fact, it's really one of those things where, unfortunately, the person who is the leader of the company is really, the CEO of the company is the top salesperson at the company. Always, right? And so expecting someone to come in and take on a salesperson's mentality and kind of have that hunger and have that desire and the passion that's required, I mean, it's really a lose-lose because most people demand a salary, right? They just can't see past it because they have to have their expenses covered. If they're going to spend 1 month doing something, they have to know that at the end of that month, there's $2,000 or $1,500. I mean, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. They're living month to month. And a lot of these younger people particularly may or may not have a savings. You know, one of the more difficult reasons why people don't succeed in, let's say, for example, real estate is because they can never get away from the job that they're working to pay their expenses in order to spend the time that is required to develop enough business so that they can leave their job that's paying their expenses. I used to work with people all the time who would try to come in at 6 o'clock after work and make calls from 6 to 8, or they would come in the morning, or they'd come in on their day off, or they'd say they were going to work on the weekend, but they never would. And ultimately, that's not enough time to learn anyways. And so it's very difficult without paying someone a monthly nut to really get them. And then at the same time, the people who you're paying the monthly nut to, unless it's over 6 figures, you're going to have a difficult time getting talented people. Maybe a little less. I mean, honestly, for 60 or 70 grand, you can probably get somebody pretty good. If it's 60 or 70 grand plus commission, like you've got to paint. Everybody wants to make 6 figures. It's really just over 100 grand. I mean, if we're being honest, right? So if you can paint the picture for someone, which I did in real estate, the problem in real estate is that I've got, you know, the people who have worked directly with me broke off and did their own thing after they knew enough to be dangerous, right?
Bastards.
Well, it's okay. I mean, you're ultimately training your competition, and it's really a show of you did a good job. I mean, at the end of the day, but you would love for the people that you train and stuff to stick with you. But in many cases, it just doesn't work that way. But I would pay them a very small salary, you know, $2,000 a month or something like that. Not really enough to survive. And then I would attach a percentage of the sales that were closed to them as well, like a small percentage, like, you know, 3% or 5%. And their job was working those deals, right? So not only are you going to get paid to work the deal, you're going to learn how to work the deal. And when deals close, you're going to get rewarded for it. With the $2,000 plus the 5%, you could easily make 80 or 90 grand a year, and you probably will. Like, we have 3 closings this month. You would have made an extra $3,000 this month plus the 2. You would have made $5,000 this month. Wouldn't that be great? Right? And that really worked. But, you know, again, it's difficult because finding the right person, you can't just go burn $2,000 months with the wrong people, you know, 5 or 6 times. There goes 12 grand, you know. So in my experience, you know, it's about finding the right people. Now, I've also been recently introduced to a whole different model of selling, right? Of selling products, basically. And for non-licensed things, right? Non-licensed things. But a lot of it has to do with leadership. It's, hey, look what I've done. If you want to do what I've done, I'll show you how to do it. But here are the requirements, and you've got to prove it. If you want a shot, if you want me to spend time with me, every time you make money, I make money. And so it becomes just a pure leadership-driven or mentorship-driven situation. You know what I mean? So either you have a 1099. I mean, everyone would love a 1099 salesperson to just come in and rock the frickin' house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I've worked out a commission structure that's pretty insane. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like 10 podcasts at a minimum, which you might go, oh, God, 10 podcasts. So, like, I have so many proposals out right now. I probably have 12 proposals out.
Yes.
But just like real estate, nothing happens overnight.
No.
And even when you've got the meeting, you've got the proposal, and then someone sits on the fucking proposal, and then when they decide to pull the trigger on the proposal, if they do, some might in a month, some might 3 months from now.
Right.
They might be ready. Then you've got your launch fee, an equipment fee, which the salesperson gets a percentage of. But it might be 6 weeks before they're actually churning content on a regular basis, plugging it into the system.
Yes.
So therefore, there's going to be a delay.
Yes.
It's just like a closing. Might be 60 days out.
Right.
Might be 30 days out before you start seeing that other ongoing income.
Absolutely.
But 10 podcasts at a bare minimum of I think it was $3,000 a month gross revenue.
Right.
Is around $500 a month for the salesperson.
Right.
But times that by 10, and now you've got 5 G's a month.
Yeah.
And then after 10, you go up to another percentage level.
Yeah.
By the time you hit 20 podcasts, which could be done, I believe, in 6 to 8 months, you're at $115,000 a year.
Right.
Boom. And it's not like we're selling Encyclopedia Britannicas in this day and age. Who buy this 500 pounds of books, right? That would be a hard sale. The shit we're selling, most people know they should be doing it anyway.
Well, then that's ultimately how it needs to be positioned as 6-figure plus sales opportunity. And any sales opportunity is 6-figure plus is the truth. And that's what people don't really understand is that in most cases, if you sell enough of something, you're going to make however much money you want to make. But the key is that they get excited about the concept of the business itself. And, you really have to believe in what you're selling. You really have to be an evangelist of your product or service, you have to believe in it.
And 100.
That's something you can't teach anybody. You can teach somebody how to pick up the phone and make a call. You can teach somebody how to memorize a script. You can teach all those things.
But are they passionate? Can they relay it with passion?
Well, and that becomes the candidate search. The candidate search is really someone who's passionate about the industry from one perspective or another. They might work at a radio station, for example. They would already maybe be in the industry to some shape or form. They might work for a larger company who does podcast production services, and they're looking for an opportunity to get involved with something new that they can help build from the ground up and maybe get a piece of. That's really the kind of person that you want. You don't want some freaking 22-year-old kid that just got out of school to make calls for nothing. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm saying that might be their perspective.
I want interns. I want interns now.
Interns are good, but the best interns are the ones who want to become entrepreneurs because, and you can get them from the Goizetta Business School.
Goizetta?
At Emory, you know what I'm saying? Any business school, there's a lot of entrepreneur programs. So you can put an internship on the internship bulletin, an entrepreneurship type of an opportunity that also pays when you win. We win together. You're going to come in here and learn. And by the way, when you win, you're going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing for a college kid is an awesome internship. And hey, I'm going to teach you kind of the ins and outs of how I'm doing the systems or this, that, and the other thing. But just so you know, this is the revenue driving source of this company. If you want to start a company, you're going to be the revenue driving source. If you want to be the CEO, you're the number one salesperson. You need to learn how to sell. If you can sell this, you can sell anything. If you can sell that, you can sell this.
Well, right. Well, and the best one of those are an intern who you can identify that actually wants to come and work for the company.
Well, that's what I mean. Absolutely. And that could be someone who's already kind of circling the industry. Look, let's face it. It's hard to make money in the radio business. Unless you're just a Bert or someone like that, which those are few and far between.
Well, right. But Bert was not to his level, at some point.
Right. This is not an easy. So people getting into the radio space or the podcast or the, whatever this space is, understand that it is a long haul. Understand that they're going to have to pay dues and would love the opportunity to be involved in something like Fu Media, something like ManFUzed Production, something like this that is actually got traction, has business, is a working company, is a podcast with 100 episodes, is an owner-operated entrepreneurial venture, which is successful, which is within its first 2 to 5 years in business, right? I think that there's a person out there, I don't know who they are.
Find them, Ben.
I think there's a person, a candidate that's like that. That to me is the profile of whoever this person might be. The hunger has got to go beyond the call. It's got to be a much bigger picture than that for this candidate. This is just one little tool that they're going to be able to put on their tool belt.
Oh, yeah.
When they succeed here.
Oh, this will set them up for life.
Yeah, exactly. So this is someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, and hey, maybe they become so good and they do so well that they earn, a percentage ownership in the company, and the entrepreneurial venture is right here, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. Let's run it, right? And really that's the hope, right? Because salespeople, at the end of the day, salespeople pay for themselves and the rest of the company. You know what I'm saying? Great salespeople pay for themselves and they pay for everything else too.
Right.
But you know what I mean? And so people in their 20s to 30s, in their 30s to 40s, are in a phase of their life where they're the young killer, you need the young
killer,
the young killer personality, the 24, 25-year-old young killer. The problem is most of these folks have money issues. They don't have a bunch of money. They're paying student loans. A college student's great because maybe they're still on mommy and daddy's Amex. You know what I'm saying? And they're getting their tuition paid and they're getting their rent paid. And hey, this is just a part of their study where they get more credits. And hey, if I can earn an extra buck here and there, not only could you earn an extra buck here and there, if you win here, you're going to make X amount. You're going to make this much per deal. And your job, by the way, as an intern, is to go find deals. If you can't find this many deals in the next 30 days, this isn't going to work. This is a 30-day trial to find out if you're the guy. We ain't paying nothing.
And you get some credits for 30 days.
You're going to get credits. But, this is an opportunity. This is fucking sink or swim. This is, can you burn the boats or can't you?
I'm going to take all the transcription of that rant right there, and I'm going to put that in text.
Yeah.
So therefore, they're like, this is the required.
Yeah.
This is our stance.
That's right. This is what it is. This is an opportunity. This isn't a job. It's not a fucking job. This is a lifestyle. Okay?
Yeah.
This is...
You want a big dick? You want to sit back with that baby dick?
This is a lifestyle. It's not a job. I mean, the lifestyle is, who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Who are you? What are you going to go do every day? Who are you going to be?
You're turning me on, Ben.
Well, my point is that there's a lot of people who want to be in the media production space, right? The media production space. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to be in that space. Just like how these sports arenas, dude, some of the best salespeople are the people that sell the fucking boxes and the seats for the sports arenas. These are killers.
Dude, my cousin Johnny, who was one of the first people I thought of, I can't get him to do a fucking thing. I can't get him to break out of whatever the funk he's in and get into sales mode. But
he doesn't see the big picture. That's
well, he does. Oh, yeah, but he used to sell for the Jets. He used to sell all those, the licenses, and he was a beast.
How old is he, though?
He's probably 40 now.
He's out of the young killer phase, bro. 20s to 30s, 30s to 40s. That's the young.
He got hooked up with a fucking succubus, and fucking now he has a kid, and then
that's what happens, bro. That's how you get out. That's how you get out of the young killer phase.
Well, I'm in the killer phase, and I've got kids.
I know, but I'm just saying,
can't knock me out of the killer phase.
No, I know. I'm just saying that. Me too, but I'm just saying, for most people, want to. They got the wife, they got the kid, they got the this. No. We don't need all that. We need somebody that wants to be in the media space, that wants to be a part of, everything that's going on.
A company that's going to be a behemoth.
Yeah, and they want to be a part of it. And I think the internship idea is a great idea.
That's my next.
Business schools are the place to go to find entrepreneurs because that's what you want. You don't want somebody that's going to business school to go get a fucking job somewhere. They're going to be worthless. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Cold calling scares them.
Of course.
Knocking on doors scares them.
But someone that is going to the entrepreneur program at like some high-end school like Emory or
Dude, I wish that handsome
Georgia
pest control man would come back.
pest control guy. There's a lot of different organizations that are really good at putting people on the phones and putting people on the streets. You know, I mean, there's call centers. You know, hell, you can hire a call center to read and do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah, I just don't want the delays. I don't want the typical, I don't want the international people that like.
Oh, I know.
Like there's.
I agree.
That's not the call center I want.
So I've got people, right, that literally will go through real estate school. They'll take all the tests. They'll go through the whole thing.
Oh, I know.
And they will not pick up the phone.
No, Ben, I know. I know this. I've been in that game. You and I used to.
And that's a big picture. They already see the big picture. In many cases, these people are leaving careers.
They've spent thousands of time and dollars investing in this whole new idea or concept.
I've had a couple interns, and most of them, I've had 4 or 5 interns, and most of them.
Were you giving them credits?
Yes.
So how did you apply for that? How did you find them?
You go to the business school's website. They have an internship portal, and you sign up as a vendor, basically, and then you can post. It's like a classified ad.
Does it cost you money?
No, not really. I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, if so, it's very, it's just, there's a $20 sign-up fee or some shit.
Well, let me ask you, switching gears. I had an appointment.
And they'll call.
Great idea. Great concept. I don't know if this was I don't know how I feel about this. So I cold called a woman.
Well, there's your problem. Just explain.
Yeah. I called this woman who owns her own marketing agency.
Right.
Apparently, she's pretty well known. She calls herself a rainmaker. Ooh. Yeah, rainmaker. I want one of those.
Yeah.
She's also the executive vice president of a business group. I left her a message, and she called me back the next day, and the conversation went well. She wanted to meet up with me to hear more about what I was doing.
Right.
Said she wanted a podcast.
Yes.
And asked if I would be interested in this organization, this business group that, supports people in the group.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a chamber of commerce sort of type deal, right?
Yeah.
You fill people in different categories that can, make the group whole, and they can do business. Well, today was our meeting at 3:15, and last night I did what I always do. The name of our company, Follow Up Media. I followed up. Hey, so-and-so, I look forward to getting to know you more tomorrow and speaking. And then I get a hit back saying, hey, I kind of have an agenda, and just like, I just want to confirm and clarify that we're meeting to where we could talk about, launching my podcast and your interest in this group. And I said, well, yes, I'm interested in talking to you about assisting you in launching your podcast. And yes, I do have interest in the group. It sounds promising. Right. And then she hits me back and goes, well, the membership fee is $2,000 annually.
Yeah.
And I go, oh. And she was like, is this within your company's budget?
Right.
And I was transparent. I said, well, I am interested in this group. I said, I've got 3 verticals growing at the same time right now. I was like, I'm not really sure, because I had no idea about what the membership cost ahead of this moment. And so now I'm like, all right, well, I'll be honest with you. I don't think spending $2,000 right this very second with the 3 things that I have going on, and all of them are growing, and I'm very excited to share everything that's going on with you. But I don't see that as an expense that would be wise of me to undergo right this moment. I haven't even seen or met like a fly on the wall at one of these meetings or these groups. And so she canceled the fucking meeting on me.
Yeah. She's trying to sell you some.
Yeah, she tried to flip that bit.
Yeah.
She was like, why don't you give me a call in 3 or 4 months? And I go,
she didn't really want a podcast.
No, she didn't. No, not at all. Which is fucked up to me.
It's just a sales tactic.
Oh, I know. It is. And great. But still, that makes me there.
It's like selling ads.
Okay, but that makes me once.
Hey, I noticed that you're selling X number of homes in this area. We'd love to do an interview with you for our upcoming magazine.
We'll feature you on the Penthouse.
We'd like to feature you
on
the front cover.
No, the fold out, the centerfold.
Because you're such a badass realtor, we want to put you on the front cover of Realtor magazine.
Can you see it? Legacy Partners.
Yeah, can't you see it?
We've even done a front cover run for you. Look at what
we've done research into your success.
Yeah.
And we think that you're a prime candidate.
Ooh, a candidate.
For the front cover.
Oh.
Just give us a call. We'd like to discuss the details.
Mr. May.
Like we said, with all that you've done, all of your success, all of the glory, we think that you would be perfect for the front cover of the magazine next month. The thing is, today is Tuesday. I've got to get a commitment by Thursday
to get it to our publisher.
To get it to our publisher in time to get you on the cover.
Oh, yeah.
So I need a commitment today.
Has someone done this to you?
A commitment? What do you mean? I thought I was going to be on the cover. Well, yes, we can put you on the cover.
But that cover costs.
Just imagine. We put out 10,000 magazines. Your face is going to be on the cover. That's the equivalent of 100,000 print impressions. Print impressions are known to be the highest level of ROI.
Well, how much does it cost for these 10,000 print impressions?
Typically,
it's
$4,800.
But today,
for the front cover.
But
actually, I had someone already committed.
Oh.
They put up their deposit of $1,500, and they backed out at the last minute.
Ooh.
So you take the $4,800. Minus the $1,500 deposit, basically going to give you their deposit.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because it's non-refundable.
Yeah.
So that would mean that today, it'd be $3,300.
Yeah.
$3,300 to you.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to get basically someone already paid for a third of it.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Now, is that something that you're interested in moving forward on now, sir?
No.
Well, let me just tell you, a lot of people say I maybe wait till next month. Next month, the price is going up.
Yeah. So, but that made me right there because you know what? I said to myself.
But that's exactly what she did to you.
Right. I know, and I knew that.
That's a good old ad script.
But what I'm saying is, but that makes me, once I'm ready to join a group, I doubt I'll be joining that one.
Of course not. And they don't care if you join or not. She's just looking for $2,000.
Yeah. She's looking.
She doesn't care.
She's looking to bring in.
She's got a Facebook group. There's a Zoom call once a week.
Or do they have their meetings at
Joey D's?
It's
$2,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have meetings at Joey D's. Be there on Thursday.
Right. Yeah. And she invited me to one. But I said to myself, and I even said, hey, I know I might not be ready right now, but I'll still buy you dinner and drinks, and we can still talk. Because I did think that there was some opportunity. But she wanted none of that. She wanted her $2,000.
Yeah, she's cold hard killer.
Yeah.
She's looking for that 2 G's, dog. She got to roll. She is the kind of person that you want. She's got a list, and if you say yes, you are exactly who she's looking for. And if you say no, you're just not who she's looking for.
Ooh, that gave me an idea. I should call her back.
Yeah.
And I should try to turn it on her.
You should be like, look, I know it's $2,000 to join your group. It just so happens that our launch fee is $2,000.
Yeah. For your podcast. So you cover that.
You send me $2,000, I'll send it right back to you.
Yeah. Or
in 7 days. No.
Or how would you like to, I should try to recruit her. How would you like to earn a lot of fucking money?
Yeah. I mean, but the point is that that's the kind of person you're looking for. She is an excellent example. Somebody out there selling.
And she's old. I mean, old.
Well, somebody out there selling $2,000 a year.
Well,
what's your commission on that?
Well, you're part of some of the groups, right? Some groups, right? Are you part of any business groups? Do they have fees?
Couple. Yeah.
Like what? Like what?
I mean, Rotary is like $1,000 a year.
Okay.
I'm a part of a few groups that have nothing to do with fees.
Has to do with sexual favors.
No, like at my son's school, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like a men's group.
Right.
You know what I mean? I go to that. I guess there's a cost because I pay for my son's school, but
right.
And that's a lot of money. But yeah, I mean, a lot of times groups have fees. But the point is, what could be her commission on that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, if she owns the company.
I don't know if she does. She's the executive VP, I think.
A great name for a salesperson.
Executive vice president.
You're going to be the executive vice president.
Yeah.
It's a great name for a salesperson.
It is a great name.
Yeah.
So it's a title that makes them...
Absolutely. Well, and it's true. Again, great salespeople pay for everything. Yeah. They pay for themselves and everything else.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's totally true.
I mean, so, hey, if you fill those shoes, you are the executive.
I'll make
VP.
you fucking president.
If it doesn't work, you're fired.
No, I'm going to go down the road of...
We're looking for an executive vice president.
Right. I'm going to go down that road of internships. I'm going to go
Your first job is you got to find one person a week that wants to do a podcast. Here's a list of, 1,000 companies.
Yeah, or a list of all...
And we need one a week. You got nothing to do Monday to Sunday, all day, except find one person that wants to do a podcast, that wants to talk to me.
Yeah.
You got to find one of those a week that wants to talk to me.
I mean, you find more than one of those. I guarantee if you fucking hammered out calls for fucking even a few hours.
I'm just saying, if they found one a week, that would greatly increase their chances of getting paid.
It'd be massive.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So the best salespeople will go, one a week? I could do 5 a week. I'll do 1 a day. And you say, okay, Tiger, just calm down. I tell you what. You do 1 a week for the next 4 weeks, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take you to 2 a week.
Yeah. We'll take you to 3 a week.
Then the next month, we'll go to 3 a week. Because guess what happens if you don't do 4 a week? You get 1 more month. If you don't do 1 a week after 30 days,
you're done.
You get 30 more days to do 1 a week. And if you don't do 1 a week on the second 30 days, this is not executive vice president material.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're more like...
The executive vice president
is a getter.
Produces 1 a week. Minimum.
You are a grunt.
I mean, in the end of story, because at the end of the day, look, it's the same in every field. Again, the CEO is always the top salesperson for any company. Like, a lot of people don't understand why the CEO of Coke makes $60 million a year salary. It's because he's a great salesperson. That's why. He's the top salesperson of the whole fucking company. That's why he makes the money. It's, all these titles, it's just like you said, being in like an army grunt, right? It doesn't matter what your rank or your job is in the Army. You're a soldier. In business, if you're not a salesperson, then you're
a support staff.
You're in support.
We're
not looking for support.
No, we're looking for...
So call it whatever the fuck you want to call it.
We're looking for soldiers.
Call it executives, call it directors, call it vice presidents, call it VP of sales, call it anything you want to call it. It's a salesperson. But salespeople have a little bit of a black hat from times past. A lot of people don't want to be the salesperson. Fine. You're the executive VP of sales.
Yep. All right, man. It's actually very good because I'm glad I got it off my chest because it's just one of those hiccups I'm dealing with in current, and it's something I'm always going to be dealing with. Salespeople are going to come, they're going to go. And hopefully we'll build a culture where they'll stay, the good ones, and they'll want to stay, and they'll grow with us, and that's how they'll become rich motherfuckers.
Yeah, you need executives,
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So if you know anybody that's got that executive look.
They want to make 6 figures or more.
6 figures or more.
That's the low bar. Listen, here's the deal. If you're not making $100,000 or more per year, you're not going to be working here. That's number one.
Yeah.
You say you want to make $100,000 or more, good, because that's the low bar.
That's how
for keeping your job here. You know what I'm saying? You have to make 100, or else it's not going to work.
Yeah, because 100 grand if you do that math. So if it takes, let's say, 20 podcasts at that percentage to make that,
right?
So they're generating for us 4 million, probably revenue,
right?
Something like that, or 2 million or something,
or whatever. However it comes out. I mean, the calculation is there, but I'm just saying, the calculation has got to be there for somebody to really come in and do it. For a crack salesperson or somebody who's really good, like that lady, you know what I mean? To come in and, hey, guess what? If you make a sale a week, you will be making $100,000 a year. If you make 2 sales a week, you're making $200,000. Let me tell you something. I hope you make $500,000 a year. And here's how you do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This is your target.
Yeah, because if you're not going to do that, it's the wrong fit. It's not the right fit. See, most of these people are entering the job on a employee mindset, not an entrepreneur mindset. They have the mindset of the employee. I need $3,000 a month, cover my bills. As long as I can make $3,000 a month, I'll do whatever you ask. That's how they are. For me, you really couldn't pay me $3,000 a month because I have to make 10 times that just to fucking break even, right?
Right.
So I have different problems, right?
I got one level of living.
I'm that guy who I'm talking about where, hey, if you don't make X amount, you're fired.
Well, thank you for listening to the ManFUzed Podcast.
Peace out.
If you want to join the show, you hit us up at ManFUzed.com or our 1-900 number, 770-744-5227 or 1-900-HOT-DUCK.
Foo Media.